going on? This is scxcr, and just for reference, yes, this is the way I normally look and the way I normally sound. By the way, in case you're wondering why this area looks a little different from everything else, it's not a different section of the house. I'm actually out of town visiting family. I am actually in the Cleveland area. And I tried contacting the Arrowhead Gamer to meet up and chat with him about stuff that's been going on recently, but he hasn't gotten back to me. So if anyone sees this and can contact Chris Boris for me, let him know I'm looking for him. And I really hate answering questions like this because I always forget something. But some of my favorite games, Castlevania on the NES, which I just recently got from the store again. I rented it a couple of times when I was younger and played it on and off at a friend's house, but I didn't actually own it, and I just picked it up, so hey, bonus for me. Bloody Roar 2, I actually followed the game when it first came out on the PlayStation website that they had for it, but I never actually got it, because my brother owned the PlayStation, and wasn't really much of a point in getting games for a system I didn't own, because he didn't feel like sharing. But Bloody Roar Primal Fury came out, I got interested in the series again, I went back and I bought Bloody Roar 2, and I am glad that I did. I can't believe they stopped doing story mode after that game. Silent Hill 2 for the PS2, even though I really hate James Sunderland. There's a piano here, Mary played piano. There's a book here, Mary was illiterate. I don't know, I just don't like it that much. Resident Evil 2, specifically the N64 version, because I hate load times. Gran Turismo on the PlayStation, even though I'm not really much of a racing guy. I don't usually fine-tune the cars at all, I just put them on automatic transmission and race them. Even then it's still pretty fun. And Secret of Mana on the SNES, probably my favorite RPG. Under this turn-based battle bullshit. Oh! One game I didn't mention in the private message, I'm sorry about the sorry for lover, GoldenEye for the N64. I freaking love that game.
It's the way you move.
Well, I have to start with Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII. Those games were just terrible. They were the only Final Fantasy games that I never really wanted to get past the first disc. I got past the first disc on both of them and I just stopped playing because the characters were so unbelievably bad. I could not get into the story at all. This is in one of my other videos, Resident Evil Survivor on the PlayStation. Probably my worst first-person based experience ever. And I know that kind of spoils it for those of you who don't know what that game is and wanted to see the review later on of it, but oh well. And that voice acting was terrible. Caveman games on the NES. Probably would have been a better experience if I wasn't playing it one player most of the time, but it also doesn't make sense though, because if you go to multiplayer, do you want the guy who's good at everything, or the guy who's good at one thing? That does not work in multiplayer. Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally. I should have seen this coming because it was a game based on a Looney Tunes cartoon, but no, I was young and stupid and I shelled out full price for it when I was younger. Deceptive title, man, deceptive title. I'll show you that one later on. Halo, not to mention Halo, because I don't really play online multiplayer that much. In fact, I don't really play it at all. So I tend to focus more on the one-player and localized multiplayer thing. And the multiplayer in Halo is not bad, it's fun. Especially because I and my friends have no idea what we're doing when we play it. So pretty hilarious deaths and some rather amusing ragdoll scenes, but that's pretty much it. Single player is just not fun. Everything I ever played on the Virtual Boy. Well, it's Virtual Boy, it's self-explanatory. Part of the reason I have to wear these now on. In case this wasn't obvious from my first review, I love the soundtrack to Bloody Roar 3. Partially because I'm into instrumental rock. I like Steve Vai, Ingrid Malmsteen, Joe Satriani, Eric Johnson. Kind of obvious, but I really like it. In fact, I have it in my car right now. It's really good when I get frustrated on the highway. Secret of Mana, that one comes up again. I really don't have much of an explanation for that. I just really like the music from it. I'm sorry, I keep looking over here because the cute computer monitor's over here and it has a message on it and I'm trying to read it as I go along because there's no way I can remember all of this. 1 second. Well, obviously I think Final Fantasy is really, really overrated. Especially 7, 8, and 10. Crisis Core? Are you kidding me? I really like 9. That's one of the few Final Fantasies that I actually got to the last disc. Halo? I also think that's overrated. Oh crap. Screensaver, 1 sec. Alright, and we're back. I can actually see everything now. Well, like I was saying before, Halo, overrated. I haven't played 3 yet, so I can't really say anything on that one. Besides, I think RI21 pretty much covered that already, didn't he? But, like I said, I'm not much into multiplayer, so what does that leave me? Especially with 2. First thing that comes to mind to me is probably Body Harvest for the N64. And, if you don't know what it's about, it starts off like most alien invasion games. Aliens in the form of giant insects come down and they start eating people. Giant insects, mind you. I'm doing a really bad job describing this, but they put like these invisible walls. Wow, they're not invisible, what am I talking about? They put these walls around the villages and they eat people and then they move on. And this continues throughout time. You have to go back in time at these key points and stop the invasions. And in the process, you're like the space age guy and you got this gun and you can control all of these different vehicles all through time. You control houses, ice cream trucks, planes, boats, a whole bunch of different stuff. Funny part is when you can get on a motorcycle and start running around shooting stuff, even though the motorcycle's pretty weak. It's just a really fun game, and especially for me because I hate bugs. So blasting the crap out of them is really fun for me. I guess I'll also throw in Dragon Spirit, the new Legend, even though that might not be a really underrated game. And another thing that I mentioned from one of my other videos, it's a really fun top-down shooter where you fly around as a dragon just blasting the crap out of stuff. It becomes really fun when you get 3 heads on your dragon and you're blasting fire all over the place. Destruction Derby on the PlayStation. Keep in mind, I grew up with county fairs, so I might be a little biased on this one, but I really like Destruction Derby. I can't really explain it. I just love smashing cars. I don't know, I guess it must be just one of my things.